15 now. I've been out here since I was like 10, 11.
It was really tough to not know what was going on, but there was other kids my age that were out here a little bit before me that helped me find places to sleep and resources that would help me.
Most people only feed 16 and up. They only allow certain age limits for each of them. It's hard to find one that's for people under 16.
Thank you for everyone feeding people on the streets and not caring about how old they are. Food Not Bombs, the Badass Feeding Frenzy, the Burrito Brigade, Food Love, and many more. Those guys just have worked so hard the last few years.
If we want to see any kind of happy solution to this issue, we have to do it in our community. We have to help out the person we see on the street that's flying a sign. Don't just assume that they're there because of the choices they made in their lives. A lot of the time, things happen to us and we don't have control over them, and especially when you're a kid, when you're one of those youth, you're at the whims of adults.
As a mother of 6 teenagers that I raised in Eugene, I happen to know that it is really hard for youth to get work. And so a lot of these homeless youth, the only way that they have to support themselves is through panhandling.
Flying a sign one time, I actually had somebody throw crumbs at me. They opened up their window and threw crumbs at me. And it was so like degrading and like disgusting to me that somebody would just think that was funny. They were laughing at it.
Money, most of all, people don't give it to you because it's weird, like they think you're like an animal lower than them. Like a lot of people just walk past you when you're like starving.
It's really hard out there not having a stable place to go, so like when you have a place that you can be at and you can, you know, just like go to sleep or like just hang out and know that you're safe, like you got a place to be. It's a lot for me.
When it comes to Whoville and all these different places for people to sleep, like the Nightingale Health Sanctuary, to me, the point of those is to give people that feeling of security, to make it feel like you have a place where you can set something down and it's not gonna be gone the next second. It's like getting your whole world stolen. Imagine having everything you care about in a backpack and then having that backpack get taken from you. And you can't do anything about it. Or even if you tried to get kicked out of you, yeah, not the best experiences. You can't really sleep anywhere too open because you get ticketed, you get a trespassing ticket.
Well, you never get all the way asleep, ever. It's hard to get all the way asleep. You're usually halfway asleep. Like, you can still hear everything going on, but you're in a different kind of state of mind with your eyes closed. You never really feel rested when you get up in the morning.
I think it really takes a toll on your body, and I think it takes a toll on your mind to live like that. It makes you, I think, scared for the next day, because you never really know what's going to happen the next day. You know, today I could be sleeping under a bridge, or the next day I could be getting murdered under a bridge.
Security is a big deal, and it's non-existent or unreachable by people like us, and that's painful. That's tough.
Usually I have to find somewhere that nobody else knows about and somewhere that's safe and dry at the same time that I know the cops won't find me. Like, or else the cops with you hard. Like,
If we ostracize our youth from authorities, then it's just that much harder to reach them. I mean, they end up in even more unsafe environments and situations because they don't see the police as somebody they can reach out to for help. They see the police as somebody they have to hide from.
you never really feel safe, honestly. You just find somewhere you can pass out and hope the cops don't come. Like, usually I pass out in a doorway in an alley or a dumpster or something because they're dry. But you never know if you're safe or not.
I don't understand how you could deny someone sleep. I mean, it's like one of those basic function needs. Every animal, every human, everything that lives needs it. You have to sleep. You will literally go mentally insane if you don't sleep.
The cops, to the homeless people, they're just for the way that you look, they'll kick you out of some place. Like, even if you've gotten permission to be there, they're like, you gotta go. And when they do it, they're not even sympathetic about it. They're much ruder about it. They're like, they'll shine their flashlights on you, and those are really, really intense flashlights, especially when you're just waking up, it's pitch black outside, and you're already groggy because, once again, you just found your place to sleep and you're being woken up. And they'll write you up a ticket, tell you that you gotta pay them a fine for sleeping. The first time I heard that, it was so ridiculous. I have to pay $200 because I was sleeping on a stoop while it was pouring down rain outside.
Our youth feel like they can't fall asleep or else they're going to be in trouble with the police. When the SLEEPS campaign started, I thought this makes so much sense. The word SLEEPS is an acronym for Safe, Legally Entitled Emergency Places to Sleep, and it was inspired by a judge in LA who said that you cannot criminalize an act that cannot be avoided by a human being. And it seems like, everybody can understand that you can't do better if you can't sleep.
Have you seen someone after 3 days of sleep deprivation? Now try that after weeks of never getting good sleep, getting woken up every couple hours.
We're here to be like, look, you see us every day and you don't do anything about it. We're here though, and you will hear us, because it's not right. It's a human right to be able to sleep. It's a human right.
I went to jail for my first time for being asleep at 1 in the morning.
Wow. How'd you feel about that?
I cried. I cried a lot. It wasn't even the fact that I was going to jail. I was worried about my dogs. We're told a bunch of different conflicting things. We're never read our rights.
It's all right, take your time.
It was really scary.
It is, yeah. Absolutely is.
1:15 in the morning, I woke up to a paddy wagon not 2 feet away from my face with the bright lights on. I see my sister get pulled in with pink handcuffs, and then my friend Mo is being pulled in there too, and then Kelsey was first. I was trying really hard not to freak out and start crying. I was scared.
Scared?
I didn't know what was going on.
His grip on me was really, really tight. His pupils were like the size of quarters staring at me. He wouldn't look me in the eye. He was looking at my chest the whole time, honestly, and I think that's really inappropriate.
Right?
If you're not doing anything harmful, you should just be let be until you are doing something harmful. That's when they should step in, not before. They may think they're trying to stop stuff, but really, they're just messing with people's heads and harassing them and making things a lot worse.
We're not even able to pay. You're gonna start throwing us in jail because we can't pay a fine for something that's so ridiculous and so unhumane.
I don't understand how we expect youth with no money to pay for these tickets. So basically, by giving them a ticket, we're condemning them both to a criminal record and to bad credit, both of which are incredibly big obstacles to overcome when looking for employment or housing.
Every person needs a place to stay. It's not right to not allow people to not have a place to stay because they didn't go to school or they don't have enough money. Either way, a person should have the right to feel safe when they sleep.
Every kid down there, they're always getting harassed for some reason. I mean, really, they're just standing there and talking and waiting for their bus, waiting to go home, waiting till it's a reasonable time to go somewhere else to sleep.
If you are an unhoused youth in Eugene, you are almost always going to end up in trouble because you are being targeted by the authorities in an effort to get rid of you. They want the youth off the streets. Whether they have a place to go that is safe is not a concern to most police officers.
With the poverty and seeing people on the streets, it's like we don't want to admit it. We're better than that in some kind of way. We're better than that because we just choose to hide it away or ticket someone or put them in jail because we don't want to see it. I think all they're asking for is just a place to sleep. And to me, I don't understand why it's a problem.
It's an immeasurable thing for these people. Like, we see a tent as just being so meager and not something that is even important. But the truth is, for somebody who isn't able to put shelter over their heads, who gets harassed when they even put a blanket over themselves to stay warm, a tent is this incredible object where you feel like you all of a sudden have something of your own. You have a home, a space, a grounding place where you can reach out and do things with your life. Things that you can't even think about when all you're thinking about is, where am I going to sleep tonight? How am I going to find some food today?
I just wish that there was more places that were actually legal to sleep. Because sleeping illegally doesn't feel good. It feels like I'm doing something wrong when I know it's not.
When Occupy happened, there was not a single place that anybody could sleep legally in a tent. And now, because of a lot of hard work by many amazing people in Eugene, we have Opportunity Village with the micro housing. We've got the rest spot programs with 3 different 15-person camps. We've got the Nightingale Health Sanctuary. So there's plenty of places for people to plug in. If you want to help your community, just reach out one of a zillion different directions that could all really use more help. One of the things you could really do to make a difference is to change these social stigmas by talking to your neighbors. Tell them the truth. Go to your neighborhood meetings and tell your neighbors what great work there is going on in these camps and that we need more of these in our community.
It's not something we can just pretend isn't there, especially because people's lives are at stake.
We don't have resources to house every youth, but we can create a community that doesn't make them feel like they're victims of prejudice and an insanely unjust system.